Hello, fellow film lovers and moviegoers. I'm the Red Hat Reviewer, and today I'm going to be talking about Shin Godzilla? Godzilla Resurgence? Shin Godzilla? So you might be asking, am I a Godzilla fan? And my answer to you is, no. All kidding aside, I've been a big fan of Godzilla since when I was little. I remember watching Godzilla vs. Megalon, Godzilla vs. Sea Monster. Those were the two movies that were in my house. And now Toho has released their newest Godzilla film, the first one they've released since Godzilla Final Wars. Basically, this one's a soft reboot. All the 28 films that have come prior don't matter at all. You don't need to know anything about them. This Godzilla is taking no prisoners. Brand new look. Brand new attitude. This Godzilla looks like a erupting volcano. When I saw first reveal posters of this monster, I was a little reserved. I was taken aback by the fact that he had really tiny arms, and that his tail was twice as long as his body, and that his teeth were like jagged shark teeth. It wasn't a traditional green lizard look for him. But all worries were put to rest when I saw him on screen. He is intimidating and scary as hell. This is also the first time Godzilla, in a Toho film at least, wasn't played by a man in a suit. At first I was certain when I saw the trailers that he was played by a suit. The very first time he's on the scene, he's just kind of slowly billowing forward. We see later in the film, though, through other displays of his powers, that the entire time he was CGI'd. Later in the film, I will say, though, that the animation started to dip in quality. Good at the beginning, nah at the end. Another thing I liked about this Godzilla film was how it went back to its roots, specifically how the monster was a metaphor for current or recent natural disasters. The original Gojira was a metaphor for the nuclear bombings at the end of World War II, whereas this Godzilla is more of a metaphor for the recent Fukushima reactor leak and also the tsunami and earthquake in 2011. For example, when this Godzilla comes out of the water, there's lots of destruction, and it looks very similar to a flood or an earthquake. And also the human characters end up discussing together when they find out that this Godzilla actually leaks radiation, and they're worried about the fallout left behind from when Godzilla goes and returns to the ocean. And speaking of human characters, that's where we get to the oddly unfortunate part of this film. Once we're introduced to the human characters well enough, we kind of realize that this film is part monster movie and part political satire. These human characters are all political figures. They all have a role within the government. And they're played almost to the point where they all look like imbeciles. Also, sadly, none of the characters are distinct. They don't have lives of their own. They don't have desires of their own. They're not real people. Whenever every character is introduced, it's never personal. There's just a little tab in the corner that says, this is the so-and-so in this political department. This is so-and-so in this political department. To summarize, Godzilla is a great monster movie, but has terrible human characters, which is typical for a Godzilla film. Because of the struggle in tone and the inconsistency between terror and humor, I'm gonna give Godzilla 3 out of 6 thumbs up. Guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more reviews, make sure to subscribe down below. You can also follow me on Twitter at JordanTQit, and make sure to tip your hat to good movies. Shin Godzilla. Shin Gojira. What does Shin even mean anyway? I should have researched that before I started the review.